Hey there, welcome back to Let's Get Cooking. It's your girl Rashida. Before we get started, have you subscribed? If not, please click that subscribe button. Let's get started. Today I'm going to show you how to bake lemon yogurt cake. Oh my goodness, it's so good. It's so flavorful. If you love lemons just as much as I do, you're going to love this recipe. Let's get started. All right, it's lemon yogurt cake. So, of course, we need some lemons. You do need some yogurt. Whole fat yogurt is probably the best. You want some oil, eggs, 3 eggs, some baking powder, 1.5 cups of flour, 1 1/3 cup of sugar, and let's see, a little bit of vanilla. Let's get started. First of all, we want to go ahead and mix up our dry ingredients. Very simple. That's that 1.5 cups of flour. I'm going to add in 2 teaspoons of baking powder and a pinch of salt. Give this a good stir and then I'm going to set it to the side. Real simple. You want to have 2 bowls, 1 larger bowl and 1 smaller bowl will be fine. Dry ingredients, just that easy. 1, 2, 3. The flour, the baking powder, and the salt. Just mix that up, make sure everything is evenly distributed. And then we're going to put that to the side and start on our wet ingredients. Let me add, before you get started, you will want to zest 2 whole lemons. You want the zest from the lemons because that is your strong flavor. Your flavor is always in the peel, the strongest flavor. So in our next bowl, our larger bowl, we're going to take 1 cup of sugar actually, and we're going to put in, that's about a tablespoon of lemon zest. And I'm going to whisk this together just for a good minute to let that lemon flavor infuse in the sugar. Right now, I wish you guys were standing in the kitchen. You can just smell that burst of lemon. It smells so good. Lemon is just a great smell. I guess that's why it's in so many household cleaners. Okay, so once that's done, I'm going to take my 3 eggs. You know, if we're baking room temperature ingredients. So my eggs are at room temperature. I want to give those a good mix before I add them to the bowl. And then I'm going to go ahead and add them to the sugar and the lemon zest. I love this recipe because it's really simple to follow. Okay, it's time to add in the yogurt. I'm using 1 cup of plain yogurt. Like I said, you want that whole fat yogurt. It can be regular, it can be Greek, it's okay. If you have a vanilla or if you have a lemon yogurt, I think those would be okay too because it has the lemon flavor or the vanilla flavor. It's very subtle. So I'm adding in that cup of yogurt. My wet ingredients are almost finished. I do want to add in a teaspoon of vanilla because I think vanilla makes everything just a little bit better. So I'm adding a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm going to give everything in the bowl a good mix. Mix until everything is well incorporated for about a minute or so. And what I like about this, I don't have to use a hand mixer. I can just use this whisk or a large spoon. I don't have to get out the mixer for this recipe. That is awesome. So you see how that just mixed smooth, well, easy. Then we just have a couple more ingredients and these cakes will be ready to go into the oven. My oven is set to 350. Preheat your oven to 350. And then we're going to put our loaves in the oven. And lastly, we're going to get ready to add the dry ingredients back into the bowl. We're going to add the dry to the wet, but we're also adding in a 1/2 cup of oil. So I'm going to just alternate the dry ingredients with the oil, ending with the dry ingredients likely. And I'm just going to stir everything once again until they're all well incorporated. And that's going to be the final batter. Looking nice and smooth, but my batter is ready to go into the pans. The burst of lemon is still smelling throughout the kitchen, so let's get started. I'm making mini loaves. You can use this to make one big loaf. You can use a bun pan, you can use a cake pan, one layer, 9 by 13, whatever dish you want to use. I'm just using a loaf pan today, and I want to make sure I grease my pan well. And I'm adding in, probably about halfway, I'm adding in the batter into my pans because of course it's gonna rise. And this is gonna make 3 mini loaves or one big whole loaf. And once everything is in there, I'm gonna go ahead and just place it in the oven and let them bake for, I'll keep an eye on them, about 30 to 35 minutes. But if you're using one loaf pan, just one whole loaf pan, that's gonna be around 50 minutes. Now that my cakes are in the oven, the next step is to make a simple syrup, a lemon simple syrup. I'm taking a third cup of sugar and a third cup of lemon juice. So for about 2 or 3 lemons, I squeezed fresh lemon juice. You can use bottled lemon juice if you like, but I just squeezed about 3 lemons to get a third cup of fresh lemon juice. I'm gonna bring this up to a nice simmer, not a complete boil. Turn off the heat, and that's gonna be my simple syrup. Definitely gonna stir the sugar to help it dissolve in the lemon juice. Bring it up to that nice simmer, a light, just a little bubble around the edges, and that's all we need to make a simple syrup. This is where that extra lemon flavor comes in the cake. It's in the simple syrup. You wouldn't have known. You might have thought we would have put the lemon flavor in the batter, but we didn't. We add the lemon flavor when the cake is done. Huh. Little little trick, little detour. All right, my simple syrup, you see how it's just bubbling a little bit around the edges? That's all we need. That probably takes about 3 to 5 minutes. I'm going to turn it off. Go ahead and pour it in a little bowl. Let it cool down while the cakes are baking. When they're done, it'll be time to put the glaze on there, or should I say the simple syrup. I think this is a great place to go ahead and remind you to like, subscribe, and share. Share the video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I have plenty of recipes all throughout the channel that you can just look through and use at any time. Ooh, guess what? Look at those beautiful lemon loaves. They are ready. I checked them at about 30-35 minutes. Pour them out. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna let them sit here for about 5 to 10 minutes before I take them out the pans. About 10 minutes has passed. Let's go ahead and invert these cakes. See how okay. We had 2 out of 3. Let me go ahead. There we go. Those came out very, very easy. Good greased pan. Very well seasoned pan, as you can see. All right, I'm gonna just line these up, get these ready. For that simple syrup, the next step is we're gonna go ahead and add the simple syrup to the top all around these little loaf cakes. As much as you want, as little as you want. I'm gonna go ahead and poke some holes on the top of the cake with a fork, just so some of that simple syrup will go ahead and dissolve into the cake, seep into the cake. And I'm going to use my baking brush, and just apply liberally the simple syrup to each one of these loaves. So I'll let you go ahead and see how I do that. And this is doing it quick, but off camera I make sure to get that simple syrup all around those loaf cakes, because that's really some of that good, nice lemon tangy flavor is in the syrup, and it just soaks into the cake. It's wonderful. And this is a very easy step. It's not hard at all. Just takes a few moments. Going ahead and landing the plane. The last thing I want to do is just add a nice little vanilla or lemon glaze to the top. This is completely optional. Glaze is very simple, probably about a cup of powdered sugar. You can add in about a tablespoon of lemon juice, but I'm doing a vanilla, so I just added about a teaspoon or two of vanilla extract, a little bit of milk, and some powdered sugar. You just play around with it till it's the consistency that you like. And I'm gonna just go ahead and drizzle my final glaze on top of my lemon yogurt loaf cakes and just give it a little presentation, a little added flavor. And that's how we're gonna go ahead and end this video, and it makes them look pretty. And like I said, very optional. If you don't want this additional sugar, you don't have to. The loaf cakes are fine with that simple syrup added to the top of the cakes. So you can stop there or you can add a little glaze, whichever you like. These cakes are great. They're great any time of day. You can eat them. Have a little slice in the morning with some coffee or tea. During the day, it's a little snack. At night, of course, it's a little snack. They're great to make and share with others, to give as gifts. They're just a wonderful little treat to have in the kitchen. And as always, thanks for coming in the kitchen. Thanks for baking with me. Today I showed you how to make this lemon yogurt cake. It's a good one, y'all. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. Have a blessed day and a blessed week.